information, it appears the fight against Galamsey is having positive impact on some water bodies in the country. Residents living along some of the rivers have reported that they've seen changes in the color and flow of the major rivers, which were almost destroyed due to illegal mining. Let's start off from the Pra River, which passes through the western and central regions. Richard Kodunyakon has been traveling to communities where the Pra River is and joins us live. Hello, Kojo. Hello, Richard.
Hello, Benny.
Good morning, Richard. What is the exact situation with the Pra River?
Well, I traveled from Ascent Paso where the Pra River flows through, and I walked along the banks of the river. I also went to Chico Paso on the Pra Bridge, and before that I had observed how the Pra River was like. And so when we got to Chico Paso, we tried some residents, and they told us that
Hello, Richard, it's quite difficult hearing you. Could you please reposition yourself? And, well, unfortunately, we lost him on the line there. But let's speak to the head of the team against illegal mining, the Lands and Natural Resources Minister, John Peter Amil, who joins us on the phone now. Good morning, sir. Thanks for joining us on News Desk.
The line is so faint. Good morning.
Hello, can you hear me now, please?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Now, we are picking information from our correspondent that some of the water bodies affected by the Galamsey menace are beginning to clear up and flow freely. What's your reaction to that, sir?
Yeah, we have also gathered some information and most of the river courses that the level of the turbidity has dropped drastically. Some areas from 6,500 to about 1,200. And so I think that it's an indication that the intensity as we witness over the period on the water bodies is gradually reducing. But this should not give us an impression of any significant success, as I keep on saying. The challenge is quite a very huge challenge, and we must, keep the forces on. We have directed over and over again that all floating platforms on the river bodies should be bent, and you can see signs of that. We are not taking it for granted at all. Any floating platform that we see in any of the river bodies, of course, are bent immediately, and we believe that this is an indication of the reduction. But there are still signals all over. Today, for instance, in TB, we picked some signals that some of the rivers around, there are few incidents of the Galamsey people around, and we will be moving to those areas shortly. So it's a difficult challenge, but first of all, it's a good work being done by the media and the Ghanaians at large, who realize that the environment is very critical. Today, as we celebrate the Environment Day, we should be cautious of what we do to our environment.
And now we understand that you are on your way to Chibi, where where Galamsey is a big problem. What exactly are you expected to do there, sir?
Well, there's an Environment Day celebration today in that area, and we are also pick information of some Galamsey operators around that area, especially on the river body. So we will be moving from there to check and find out if the information we are picking are right.
And you mentioned earlier that this positive result we are seeing with our water bodies should not give us the impression of significant success. Can you tell us briefly what the success rate or level is, currently in our fight against Galamsey?
Well, for me, I want to see our rivers being clean. I want to see our rivers as it was in the days when our fathers can use calabash, go to those rivers and fetch water and drink. That is not what we are saying. And so I have not seen this as a success at all. I have still seen and realized that there's a lot to be done. And until we begin to deploy, a complete deployment of the forces and all the people that matters for a sustainable period,
All right.
We are looking at 1 year and above.
But sir, sorry to cut in, but how well have we done in the fight so far?
How well we've done, maybe patience of the little successes that you're talking about. But the point I'm raising is that the little successes here do not, give us an indication that we are close to the end of the tunnel. Not at all. There's a lot more needs to be done. And I think this is the point that I'm trying to labor on. There's a lot more needs to be done.
All right. Finally, before you go, today is exactly 1 week. We know that Captain Maxwell Ada Mahama was lynched. We are told he was in the town of Dentre, Obuase, for some official duty, and that was to lead a task force in the fight against Galamsey. As Lands Minister and as the team leading this fight, what does his death mean to you in terms of how Ghanaians should react in this Galamsey fight?
Well, it's quite a painful and it's quite a challenging event, and it's an event that no Ghanaian can accept. It's very unfortunate. It's a barbaric act that has been meted to our, our brother, a Ghanaian who is trying to, fight for the cause of this country, have to put death in such a manner. This cannot be acceptable to any authority, any regime, any group of people, anywhere at all. And so for us, as a ministry, we condemn the act, and the law enforcement agencies are up to the task. And we are asking that justice be brought to folk, so that the families, of course, of this gentleman, can have a cause to believe that they are in a country that's worth living for. If you're in a country working for the cause of the country, for which, you've not been treated well, of course, that's justification that people will quite be angry about the system. The good thing is that the law enforcement agencies have the task, and as a ministry, we sympathize with the Giri family, sympathize with all Ghanaians, people that believe that we need to clean the environment. We sympathize with them, especially the media fraternity. This death of the gentleman is unfortunate, and we condemn it in all aspects.
Right. Thank you very much for your time this morning. John Peter Amewu is the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. You're watching JoyNews Desk.